Hello. Welcome to the tier list stream. All right, it's time, chat. It's time. Say hi, YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Hello, very nice and never toxic ever player Leffen here. Here to bring you the newest tier list, 7.0. So this might be a pretty long video, but I'm gonna try to speed through a little bit because I feel like there's been a lot of tier lists and the real interesting top tiers are the ones I want to talk about. I want to talk about the changes and how I view the game now, but I will try to place every character to a reasonable degree. Not everything is going to be ordered, especially the low, mid, and low tier are going to be a little bit iffy, simply because we don't see those characters that much. But I'll talk a little bit about each character, we'll see. And then obviously the top tiers we're going to talk a lot about as well. I think that's the biggest change really, because there were a lot of changes to the top tiers. So I think the meta is significantly different now than how it was before. Excited? All right, let's get started. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Not enough people are subscribed. 65% people aren't subscribed. And last time I mentioned this, I got like 5k subs more. So I'm gonna mention it. Hashtag sellout. It's free. Twitch priming to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Leffen, is also free. You know, all my content is free. Just as free as Salem. Guys, please support. All right, let's get started. The worst character in the game, in my opinion, is Charizard or Squirtle. I don't know which one. This is speaking if you only play those characters. Only those characters. I think Charizard's slightly worse. PT is far from even mid-tier, guys. Calm down. But if you actually think Charizard solo is good, then you're just crazy. Like, aerials are unsafe. Nair can only be safe if it's completely unsafe and the last frame. No combos outside of back throw and like late Nair. Super big target, terrible tech roll, terrible ledge animations, everything. Honestly, only real good thing is that he has good kill power and can live decently. It's very clear, right, that he's just a terrible character if he was played alone. You could also not swap. However, new Charizard does work really well with PT. Squirtle, honestly, feels amazing most of the time when you play him. But if you're forced to stick with him, his recovery is linear, he gets juggled too hard because of no swap, and he absolutely cannot consistently kill. He has F-tilt to tech chase, but he can't kill whatsoever consistently. It's only a problem because you don't have the other ones. No, Solo Squirtle is fucking terrible. You can see in my set versus Tweak how much he lost because he stuck with Squirtle. It's really hard to kill with Solo Squirtle. Kill at like 150, 180 average. Next up in bottom tier, we have Little Mac. Little Mac is incredibly flawed, just like these characters. Like Charizard can't combat low percent, Squirtle can't kill, but Little Mac has the amazing strength of being very, very explosive. The main problem with Little Mac obviously is camping, edge guarding, and like camping platforms, but he has still seen some good results while played solo, which, you know, the others haven't. I think he got 13th at a Japanese tournament, and he's shown up at some local stuff like that. Like, the main problem really is that he's just not consistent, and he's bad if people know how to play against him perfectly, but no one really is going to do that. So he still gets a little bit higher than the absolute worst character in the game, if you count on these. But outside of that, he's the worst character, right? Like, if you know, just count all the others. Next up, we have Isabelle. Isabelle is just straight up bad villager. Every player that has played both those characters can basically say the same. The down B rocket doesn't even properly work. The buffs don't matter. Yeah, it's just bad villager. I think that's it for bottom tier. These ones I would say are ordered, but low tier and mid tier are not, or are very loosely ordered, because again, these are just like so rare. Me Sword Fighter, I would say, is low tier. Has a good confirm, but outside of that, he's pretty mediocre, honestly. A lot of better alternatives. Both Pits, definitely low tier. Just very weak sauce in general. Doesn't have massive flaws, but doesn't have any real strengths either. Incineroar, just, yeah, you know, super slow. Has some offense, but in general, too exploitable. Definitely not garbage or anything. He's just not great. I would say Villager is like at the top of low tier-ish. He's like barely what I would consider. Kirby's towards the bottom. Puff got significantly buffed, but still probably low. Towards the top of it, I think now. She has some scary stuff. And she has some good top tier matchups, but definitely not like super amazing or anything. And I can tell you right now that mid tier is going to be a big window. So I actually think we're going to go to high tier right after this one to get things started. This is hard. There's so many characters that are good, but like not terrible. Me Gunner is also pretty underwhelming. I think significantly better than Sword Fighter though, but probably not worth Solomiding. Robin's like kind of mid tier. We'll put him at the top. Robin has some scary stuff, but only really an advantage. Really bad in disadvantage. Mediocre recovery, bad grab, lack of consistent combos outside of some stuff. But he has some scary range and some scary stuff when he's on. He's a matchup you definitely need to know. Oh, I haven't found King K. Rool yet. Yeah, King K. Rool got significantly buffed to the point where I feel like he's might be better than Kirby, but I feel like Kirby can just low profile so much more, and he still suffers from the problem of just like being a bit too slow. Definitely not terrible or anything. Don't get me wrong, just not great. Yeah, like that's just a general thing in this game. Like there's no terrible characters in this game outside of these bottom four. These bottom four are underwhelming, but you can still win with them for sure. There's absolutely no unviable characters, but there's a lot of characters that maybe aren't good choices if all you want to do is win. Like that's your only priority. But if you want to win and have fun, you can pick a lot of characters in this game. It's a very balanced game in that way. DK, I think, is towards the middle of this. DK is really bad still. His buffs weren't big enough, sadly. Just terrible disadvantage, bad recovery, nothing extra really. All of his special, like neutral B is good, but it's not that comboable or anything. Down B can catch people off guard, but still definitely a pretty meh character. And I think it's hard. I don't know if Richter is... No, I think Richter is like bottom of low mid tier. So I'm ranking them low mid tier just because like it's just easier that way, honestly. So I don't have to order them too hard here in the middle. Piranha Plant should also be here. Also, like incredible ledge trap character, but just like a bit too one note. The good things are really good, but the bad things are really bad. Actually, let's just continue with mid tier. It's honestly just easier. Low mid tiers, we have Zelda, got buffed now. Definitely a lot stronger. I'm not really sure. She could be mid tier actually. She still has the same problems, but her damage output and her kill power is like insane now. And she does have some really, really top tier moves. It's just that she also has a lot of meh moves. And her kit doesn't completely work together. If she had like one normal that controlled space wall, she would be like maybe the best character in the game. If she had like a top tier like Nair or something where she could just control shit. But the fact is she doesn't, and so she kind of struggles in neutral when she doesn't use down B a lot, or she has a hard commit to like a grab or a dash attack or a neutral B. Next up we have D3. D3 I think is slightly better than Richter, but worse than Zelda. But again, this is very loose. We have Meta Knight here as well. I think he's better than Richter, but barely. It's like so super close, honestly. I don't even care. Meta Knight just struggles with killing consistently, and like bad airspeed holds him back a little bit from his game plan. Mewtwo's here as well. Mewtwo's like actually a decent character. It's just that he isn't worth the amount of effort. You have to learn a lot about him. You have to be really clean with the character. And he just doesn't reward the amount of work you put into, honestly. He's a bit too light. He doesn't have good throw combos. He has kill throws, which is nice, but yeah. His recovery can still be two-framed, which is like more exploitable than most. His double jump is just not very practical as well. Ganondorf is here as well. I think he's actually worse than these characters. He might be low tier, actually. Yeah, he's actually low tier for sure. What am I doing? He's around the same as DK. Ganondorf's just like slightly better in Sinnoh, honestly. Ices are here as well. Again, another character like Mewtwo is just like too much effort for the amount of reward you get in. But they're very, very scary if you don't know the matchup. They might be higher, potentially. It's kind of hard for me to say. I haven't seen too much. But from what I've seen with Big D, it does seem like when people are on point and when they know the matchup, it looks like the character isn't too strong. I think Dr. Mario should be... Oh, wait. We had to place Corrin. Corrin is worse than Mewtwo, in my opinion, but not by a lot. People underestimate them a little bit. Wait, why the fuck did I pick the wrong Corrin? Corrin, they're still fine. The whole problem, right, is just that, like, why the fuck should you pick Corrin? Why the fuck should you pick Corrin? That's the beginning and the end of that conversation. They're not heavy, they're not fast, they don't do a lot of damage, their specials aren't anything unique, they don't have throw combos, they don't have a good recovery. It's like, why? Stop. I know you like feet, but stop. I think that might be it for low tier right now. Low mid tier. I think Bowser Jr. is actually around here as well. He's actually surprisingly solid. He's like budget Sonic in almost every way. Heavy, has some good kill moves. I think he has some decent combos, and he's not too easy to play around. But he's definitely not like... He doesn't have the strongest game plan. That's the only problem, really. I miss Wii Fit? I did not. So in mid tier, I think the bottom of mid tier, barely on here, is Dr. Mario. He got some significant buffs, honestly. Up B is now the best kill move in the game. It's just a bad recovery move. But honestly, a lot of people in Ultimate need to learn how to recover better. I know that a lot of you guys get triggered if it's not a completely brain dead free recovery every time. But honestly, in a lot of matchups where they're not great at gimping you, or at least killing at early percents, and they can't abuse your slightly below average speed, Dr. Mario is incredibly scary. He has kill confirms from everything from up B. Spot touch of B is incredibly obnoxious. Up smash kills early, back air kills. He's just a really solid character that's overshadowed by the best one, you know, the regular Mario. I think next up is probably Duck Hunt. No, I think Ridley's next up. He's a little bit like Doc, where he has like crazy damage output, but instead of having a bad recovery, he actually has a pretty good one now. And he just has crazy damage output. Ridley has some of the best moves in the game, but he has a really big hurt box and not the best airspeed. People that think, why isn't he heavy? Because he would be so fucking stupid if he was heavy. He would be as stupid as Bowser, who's coming on up later. He does not deserve to be a small character, come on. He does not deserve to be a heavy character either. He has crazy range. There's a reason why Sakurai would pick this character and do well sometimes too. And after that, I think we have Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt is maybe one of the worst zoners that is like super light, mostly just because like he's solid for sure. The main problem is just that he just lacks killing power, straight up. He doesn't have crazy combos. He has some 2-hit, 3-hit combos every now and then, but he has no crazy combos, and he straight up just lacks really hard in kill power. I think Raito is a very good player who carries the character to a certain degree, and coupled with people not knowing the matchup helps him do well. Honestly, ranking mid tiers is so hard. Like mid tiers and high tiers are so even in this game. I would probably actually put Lucario down here. Yeah, I would actually put Lucario down here. Just underwhelming. How the meta's playing out, I don't think he's that scary. Kind of like, he's not slow really. He is mobile, but he's not threatening. He doesn't have like super scary moves or anything. The only thing really scary about him is if you let him get off at high percents. But I think there's a lot of characters that can do well in this game. He's just like an all or nothing bet. Squirtle mid tier at least. Okay, let me see you play a whole match of Squirtle and then we'll talk. Like 2 different kill moves. Next up, we have Falco. Falco just struggles in neutral. That's literally his only flaw. He can get like horizontally and diagonally camped a little bit. Up tilt's amazing. Recovery is really fucking good. The only problem is his neutral is just a bit too weak. He has no safe aerials to just throw out continuously. His combos and his kill combos are a little bit too DIable, but he's very, very scary if you let him get started and if you don't know how to play against him. After that, we have Banjo. Banjo's good. He's solid for sure. Side B is very scary. On the characters where side B hits below the edge, it's an amazing ledge trap and 2-frame option, but it does unfortunately not hit below the edge on everyone. Struggles a bit with combos is the main thing. He doesn't have any big confirms. He has like fair dash attack. Like throws don't lead to anything. Nair drag down is pretty good, but you can sometimes get out of it because it's sent to the wrong side. Yeah, he's just not like threatening enough and doesn't have like great burst options. Dash attack is just not scary enough. Was a higher end of mid tier. I think I will put Toon Link. He's the much easier version of Young Link to play. He actually functions very well. The only problem really is that he doesn't have the sauce. Like he doesn't have crazy frame data. He doesn't have crazy combos, up B, like off the stage. He got some decent buffs, but overall, outside of being a bit more consistent than Young Link and having better recovery, he's worse in many ways. Like arrows being that much worse and Toon Link now having, in my opinion, the superior there and like better close-up game makes it pretty clear. Backer is very good though. If his backer was a 4 there, he would be in high tier, I think. We have Me Brawler, I think like top of mid tier as well. Very strong frame data, very mobile, has shitty flip kick, which is still broken as fuck. 3-frame up B out of shield, good combos, good juggles, good kill confirms. Solid recovery, good ground speed. A lot of people just don't know about this character. I play Towdy, who plays him a decent amount. Definitely don't think this character's bad. He actually has a decent amount of like solid moves as well. Like he can actually swap moves mid-match and like gain some new gimmicks and mix-ups depending on the matchup, stuff like that. We also have Lucas, who's just a little bit underwhelming, but I think this character has potential for sure. Oh, I forgot to place Ivysaur. Ivysaur's definitely worse than these characters. He's like here. Solo Ivysaur's not terrible, but again, if you can't swap, he can't get down, he can't get out of advantage. He doesn't live long. He only has tether recovery. Only having a tether recovery is not good. Quite bad, honestly. Can't kill anymore. Spike isn't good anymore. Outside of like people that don't know how to use up B without double jump. And very high percent spikes, but at that time you would rather want to be Charizard. Has F smash ledge trap, which a lot of scrubs fall for, but good players know how to mix it up. Terrible out of shield frame data, terrible frame data in general, terrible movement, terrible damage output for the most part when he doesn't get more than one hit. Just like one of the worst characters in disadvantage by far. Like he might actually be worse than the worst character in disadvantage outside of Lolmac. He's just so bad at getting down. Again, PT is way better, but yeah, Ivysaur alone got heavily nerfed, and in my opinion was never that good. He's just like ultra omega shitty Olimar if you think about it. And again, this is like when you rank these characters, you have to take into account that they can't swap, right? It's not letting like Ivysaur, but when you get hit off stage, you can swap the Charizard and Flare Blitz. It's like Ivysaur if down B didn't exist. Crazy how 2 bottom tiers and a low tier can make someone that good. Yeah, that's just because that's how even the game is. And because the characters are actually designed well. It's not designed to only spam Ivysaur or only spam Charizard or only spam Squirtle. It's designed with, you know, a design in mind and executed actually well. Where Squirtle can't kill, but Charizard can. Charizard can't play at low percent, but Squirtle can. They actually cover each other, which is why they're good. If Ivysaur was actually high or top tier, as some people think, like, Jesus fucking Christ, that character would be broken. Oh, Bayo. I think Bayo is actually pretty underrated. Bayo's so fucking stupid, honestly. I think she's like a very solid high mid tier, but she's harder to play than almost any mid tier, which means that the only people that will ever utilize her well is people that played Bayo in 4. And a lot of those people don't take the game as seriously because she's not broken anymore, or they've switched to other characters. She has some awful matchups for sure, like Pikachu, but she also has really good ones. And she can escape a lot of things because of bat within being 1 frame. Can't really ledge trap the character because of side B and it being like -12 and going mid screen. Amazing recovery, which time is still broken, especially versus projectiles. Only real problem is struggles to kill, but can sometimes get really early kills with spikes, combos at the top, or which time. She can make up for it. I also should put Ike in here. I think Ike is okay. The main problem with Ike is he just doesn't have ground game. That's really it. Mediocre dash attack, slow startup F tilt, down tilt's laggy, up tilt slow. He doesn't have any out of shield options outside of up B, which is a big commitment, like full smash punish and a slow grab. His jump into anything is pretty bad. If you're a tall character standing behind him, he can back out of shield. That's about it. He's very simple though, and he has some very good matchups even within the higher tiers. But he is definitely a bit flawed against small, short characters that can edge gun him all. Joker's really good against him. Pikachu, PT, Rob. You know, there's some characters that can just put the hurt on him. But he does well against some characters like Game & Watch, for example. All right, so high tier. Starting off, we have Rosalina and Luma. I don't know why people ever thought this character was terrible. After I saw her Nair, I was like, what? That's fucking stupid ass Nair. That's Ike Nair. And she has like all these setups and tech. Like, she's probably going to be good, right? Good recovery. Yeah, she's at the bottom of high tier, but she has this thing where like you have to play against her so peculiarly. You have to play her against her completely differently from any other character. You have to take care of Luma. You have to avoid getting Luma, you know, combo breaking you. Just how you fight against lead traps. She can just absorb projectiles. There's just a lot of things. And with the new shield buff, where her shield covers Luma now, it's much harder to kill Luma in neutral. You actually have to win neutral, not do a combo on her, and then kill Luma most of the time. Recovery can be bad, but it really depends on the matchup. A lot of characters that have used her recovery well have gotten some kind of nerf, like Joker down gun is way worse, and Paulo Nair doesn't kill us early, so that's 2 characters that are good at edge hunting her, getting heavily nerfed right off the bat. I think Wii Fit is also around here. Wii Fit is like crazy strong during deep breathing, and you can't stop deep breathing either. It's so fucking hard to stop deep breathing. You don't understand. Like, they get hit off stage and they get like full deep breathing for like 15 seconds, and they're super fast. They kill you extremely early with back air and down air. They're just super scary. The only problem really is that they're bad against short characters, which there are many of. Recovery is good, projectiles are good. They're also bad air mobility in the air, but they can avoid it through B reverse and stuff like that. Yeah, very solid. You have to play very differently against them. They can legitimately plank you. Yeah, there's a lot of things they can do. Next up, we have Sheik. Sheik is, in my opinion, barely high tier now. The character's so hard to rank because she's so hard to play, but she is actually much better since the buffs. Like, I think both buffs really helped her. No offense to Void, but I think, you know, his problems are not only based on Pichu getting worse. And in my opinion, if he gets back to where he was Genesis 2 skill-wise, with a new buff Sheik, he will see very good results. I think you can see glimpses of that when he plays. He just hasn't really figured out the consistency. And because of all his swapping around, his overall skill is a little bit behind right now. Needle change is amazing. Being able to like get combos, F smash. Side B actually scary move now. Off stage can abuse some characters, recovery, and it sometimes a neutral. Grab range being better is always good for a character that wants to grab out a shield. Yeah, just like a very hard character to play that's arguably not worth the trouble. Who else do we have? There's a bunch of echoes left. Marth, I would say. No, I think Cloud is here and then Marth is after. Cloud's buffs were nice, but Marth is still... You would never really see someone play Marth because Lucina is so clearly better in every way, basically. But Marth is still a bad version of a great character, right? He's just very underwhelming to play. I felt like when I played Leos Marth, it was like Lucina is clearly better, but Marth has his own shit. Saibi is just ridiculously strong. Next up, we have Luigi. He's very one note, but he's super cancerous if you do let him play. If he gets a grab, if he gets a down tilt or like a good combo star, he will straight up wobble you. Super degenerate, awful character design, up B out of shield, one frame armor invincible move out of combos that breaks a lot of character. Up smash that kills. Problem is simply his recovery is inconsistent, bad at long range most importantly, and his projectile isn't amazing, as well as he can get camped by some characters. But once he does get in, he can like 3-stock. He's maybe the easiest character in the game to 3-stock someone with. He's so brain dead if your opponent doesn't know how to play against him. Just down throw, down throw, down throw, down throw, dead. Up B out of shield also stupid. Parry, spot dodge, and shield up B is crazy good. I think Yoshi is next. Yoshi's actually surprisingly solid, I think. There's a lot of Yoshi mains doing things there. And I think he's very good in some matchups. Like, versus Inkling, for example, who's an amazing character. He's very good. Versus PT, he's really annoying to play against too. Like, he's just a very strong, solid character that's hard to deal with. Falcon. I think Falcon's like bottom of high tier. People whine too much about this character. He has massive flaws and he's annoying to play for sure, but people need to get a grip. Like, this character has amazing kill power. Recovery isn't amazing, but again, people need to learn how to fucking recover in an intelligent way. Like, so many Falcon players just like recover in the exact same way, let the opponent get rocked and then whine about it on Twitter. They don't know how to dash dance, or so they whine about the turning animations. Like, not every character is gonna have a good turning animation. Get over it. Yeah, I clearly think this character is very, very scary if it's on. It's just, they have some rough matchups. I mean, he has some rough matchups. And we have Greninja. Greninja is very, very strong, but very, very simple. Very one note. Like, one of the easiest good characters to play for sure when you're talking game plan. Simply because you can fair, dash attack, and nair in neutral, and you have like a good shot at winning. You can legitimately do no other moves than that and legitimately have a chance of winning, which is crazy. But he struggles with out of shield options, recovery being too frameable, being a bit too linear, struggles a bit against like Pichu and Pikachu, short characters. But still amazing, especially for the low amount of effort you have to put in. Next up we have Regular Link. Regular Link is very solid, very good. Has some cool stuff, some optimized stuff, but in reality, what you're gonna be doing is up smashing and up being out of shield and doing a fuck ton of nairing. I think the one thing that I will say is that people need to get better at parrying his nair. As someone that's played a decent amount of Link against Izal, like, it really, really changed the matchup. Problem is that a lot of people only have experience against Link when it comes to like tournament sets where you don't want to mess around with parrying unless you're confident, and online, in which case you can parry. I think the more people play against this character offline, the more they will realize that he is actually very, very solid, but has some massive flaws in that. They will also learn how to edge guard his bomb recovery better, not get reverse to like try to 2-frame his up B when they're doing it reverse. Yeah, but still a very, very good character. Bowser is about here as well. Like super degenerate, super easy. Destroy some characters for no reason. Like all fully designed character. Just terrible. No one likes playing against Bowser. Hype to watch if you're watching it out of the Bowser player's perspective. Despair from the other person though. I think he needs a secondary to be used optimally, but he is still he has enough variance to actually be solo mainable. Next up we have Hero. Hero is, in my opinion, very underrated when it comes to like general design. If you see Salem play, like he can actually just rob people so fucking hard. And yes, Hero is not good in every matchup. Again, he's a little bit like Bowser, but when he does work and when people play him right and they get good RNG, he's so infuriating to play against. He's so stupid. Any projectile character, Mega Man, Young Link, Samus, you name it, just insta loses against Hero if he gets bounced like once per match. It's like so stupid. You really have to be like, have good normals and fuck with him when he has bounce. And he's good here because if you're ever realizing that I'm up against MKLeo, I am worse, you can always pick Hero and get lucky. I think Pichu is here as well. Pichu is good, but too much effort for what the reward is. Main problem with Pichu is that if you don't know a certain character's gimmicks, so whether it's Nair up air with Ike, up 3-frame up B with me Brawler, or down to up B with Doc, you will die so fucking early. But if you play them perfectly, I mean Pikachu and Pichu both, but especially Pichu, you are so scary. Another character that I feel like is better with a secondary. And honestly, the buffs were severe, but I don't think the buffs were as big as people think. It's just a lot of things such as the backer loop and how the game played out made people realize that Pichu is good, but in the current meta, it's not all about beating the top tiers. And even though Pichu has a good top tier spread, that's not all that matters when people play so many different characters, and she just doesn't stomp the bad characters hard enough for us to be higher. Next up, we have Diddy. Diddy is actually good. Like, he is hard to play, in my opinion, and he might not be worth the reward, but he is very, very good when you play good with him. Up smash buff was very significant. Good frame data, good recovery now with the buff. Has an infinite on platforms, which makes him always scary. Just like keeps momentum very well and makes you play his game. I think he's severely nerfed by the fact that a lot of people have they have Diddy experience from 4 and Brawl, right? So he's one of these characters that's like a lot of work and you have experience against them in previous games, much like Bayo, right? But unlike Bayo, he is significantly more solid even when you know how to play against them. This is a fat highs here. Like, I'll say like this. Low, and then we'll add another one. Solo mainable. And this is not like super hard or anything. Like, I think some of these characters can be solo mainable as well, like maybe Link and maybe Diddy, but I think there's a lot of matchups where you would rather pick someone else. All right, so in high tier we have Ness. Ness is very, very strong. Amazing back throw. Up B is hard to deal with. Yeah, you know about him. Like, he mashes, he has good frame data. Kind of explode recovery, but you have to get lucky enough to hit his air dodge, which is more or less RNG. Up smash is amazing out of shield and is amazing ledge trap, and down smash is amazing edge guard. Yeah, it's just really fucking hard to play against this character properly. You have to be super on point. I'll play him in neutral and then edge guard him, or he will just fuck you up sometimes. Sonic is here as well. I think Sonic's slightly worse. He's just like super campy, does well against a lot of the top tiers. Super boring to play against, like legitimately one of the worst characters to play against and to watch. But to be fair, he actually has to work a little bit more in this game, at least. Next up, we have who? Samus. Samus is very, very strong now. I think maybe slightly worse than Ness, but I think the buffs made them completely solo mainable. Up B is good on shield, like really, really good ledge trapping with bomb and neutral B. Hard to edge guard if they're played properly. Sarah being better. Up throw being a kill throw anywhere is so fucking good for a zoner, because this means that you can run them into the corner and then they can just grab you, trying to shield projectile, and then you kill. Dash attack being sweet spot all the time now is amazing. Up smash can sometimes kill early, like Yeah, this character is just like really obnoxious to play against, and and is solid in a way where the characters below them just isn't. Yeah, I expect Quick, YB, and Joker, the Samus main, to all do well with the buffs, and people are really gonna have to learn this matchup. I think I have Olimar next. Olimar's very good, but he does struggle a little bit now that the meta is getting more and more developed. His shield is finally fixed, which puts him a bit higher. Otherwise, he probably would have been behind Sonic. But the main problem with Olimar is simply that some of the good characters do really well against him. Shulk, Wolf, Joker, for example. And he doesn't have as much development left as some of the other characters. I expect him to maybe be a bit stronger than this currently, but eventually kind of settle into this position. Strong character for sure. Shuton and the Buzz both show this, and Myron as well, but has flaws and still has a lot of jank. The good thing about Olimar is that if you don't know how to play against an Olimar, if you don't know what Pikmin does what, then they are incredibly fucking good. Like, they're so hard to predict. But once you get into the rhythm, once you play against a lot against Olimar, it gets easier for sure. I think Terry is next. Terry is very good when he works. He's super fucking scary. Like, stupid fucking scary if people play him. He has, in my opinion, the best ledge trapping in the game. Like, down tilt just covers ledge jump so well. Nair, like, oh, he shits damage. Fair's an amazing on a shield option. The only problem is the smash GI with some characters makes it very hard for him to connect to stuff properly. He requires a lot of effort. He's very jank. He's programmed in a terrible way, where when the opponent crosses you up, sometimes your dash will just go the wrong way. The moves will come out. Yeah, he's very frustrating to play, and he's bad against short characters. But I think he shits on some characters harder than almost any other character. And in tournament, I think that his super over 100% is like an incredibly good tool to have. It just mindfucks you when you know, even though you're ahead of full stock, that you could lose just because you could miss 2 kill moves in a row. Next up, we have Mega Man. Solid character, but lacks a little bit of that oomph. Has very good control though, but again, lacks a little bit of the oomph. You know, no amazing, like, super outstanding moves outside of like Leaf Shield and Pellets. Fair and Bear are very good, but you know, not safe on Shield, which holds them back a little bit, unless they're spaced. Heavy though, and good recovery, and a lot of small tricks, but I feel like you might need a secondary if you want to be the absolute best for them, and that's, I think, why you can see Kameme pick Wario a lot. Next up, I think we have Roy. Roy is very good, very scary once he's played right, but honestly, against a lot of the good characters, he's just more effort than Chrom without having the reward. Chrom's up B being so incredibly fucking stupid and sucking you in and killing you at 0, and being able to Chrom side with it is very strong. He's just the more practical one of the two. In my opinion, to be absolutely golden with these characters, you should, in my opinion, pick Chrom and then have a different character, maybe Roy, maybe some other character, against the characters that are really good against Chrom. I think that's overall a better pick. And instead of putting more effort into learning Roy fully, you just put that effort into learning Chrom and then another character on top of that. Yeah, I think that's overall what I would do. Like, held back by the fact that their disadvantage state is just bad. Like, not being able to change your air momentum is really bad. And Roy suffers kind of from having a decent recovery, but not an amazing one. You can definitely still edgeguard them with a lot of characters. Like Peach, Pikachu for sure do it. Wolf can do it. Like, very strong, but not tippity top tier in my opinion. I would probably put Young Link in here. Like, a little bit too much effort to be truly among the best, but I do think he's very scary now. He actually does surprisingly well in my opinion against Pikachu, Inkling, Peach, who are amazing characters. But I think he struggles a bit still against Wario. Does well against PT too, actually. Probably still struggles a bit against Palu, although the nerfs to her and the buffs to Young Link help a lot, especially that Nair doesn't kill, which is a way you would edgeguard Young Link a lot. Fox is also here. Slightly better than Mega Man in my opinion. Solo mainable for sure, but is a little bit too light, a little bit too predictable because he doesn't have amazing grabs. If he had one combo throw or one kill throw, he would be in top tier in my opinion. But the fact that you know that he's gonna full jump and either like land empty or fall with an aerial a lot at high percents, I think that matters a lot. And yeah, some of the characters in top tier, especially the top 2, are very good at edgeguarding him. Next up, we have Ryu. Honestly, just like the worst one of the two. Kind of significantly worse in my opinion because of the movement speed, and some of the buffs honestly made like the down smash buff, in my opinion, helped Ken more than it helped Ryu. Still very stupid characters, like frame 1 focus that's cancelable. God, it's so boring to play against. If you don't have a character that's a good multi-hit up air, it's just so hard to juggle these characters. Recovery is exploitable if you get hit once, but it's very hard to 2-frame them, especially Ken. I'll talk a little bit more about it when I rank Ken. Next up, we have Pac-Man. Pac-Man's like, oh my god, so stupidly designed. Fastest ledge stand-up, almost impossible to ledge trap, especially when he has an item. Broken recovery, broken 6-frame nair out of shield, up throw combos, hydrant just fucks disadvantage, up out of shield. Oh my god, this character is so fucking stupid. I will say though that T does get away with a lot of things because people aren't quite optimal against the character. And if the character was way more common, then you would be better against some of the stuff, such as the fast ledge stand-up and how to beat his fairs and nairs on shield. But still an amazing, amazing character and truly an awful one to fight. Hey, though, every 40 games T does one cool combo. So the character isn't awful to fight at all. Next up, Cena. Better as a counter pick character, in my opinion. Very simple, strong, solid, but lacks a little bit of oomph. Yeah, main problem really is that she doesn't have a combo throw if you can DI. Doesn't have amazing lead trap setups. She just has normal lead trapping with good frame data and good range, which some of these top tiers have, but she doesn't have a lasting hitbox. Recovery can be bad if you get hit without your double jump as well. But with double jump, it's very, very good. But still worth to be mentioned. Yeah, just very good as a counter pick character, but overall, if you're gonna main a simple character with no flair, main Palutena. And I'm not gonna rank PT until the end, by the way, and Byleth as well. So stick around. I think we might be moving on to top tier. Yeah, let's move on to top tier. So first, the top tier is Snake. Snake's still good. He's stupid. Nikita's awful. Up tilt spot dodge. He's awful to fight. You know Snake, right? I wish he was worse. He should be worse with that movement speed. But he grenades and up tilt and spot dodge is just so strong, so hard to fight. His main problem is honestly that a lot of these mid tiers actually have decent matchups against him. But just the fact that you have to fight against Snake, like you do not play regular Smash when you play against Snake. You play against Snake. It's so good because he can just be used as a counter pick character, as a throw you off character. I feel like most people play him solo though. And I feel like if you had a secondary, he would be a bit more solid of a, a little bit more solid. But he definitely doesn't need one, as MVD and others have shown. Next up, we have Ken. Ken is so fucking stupid. God, his movement, Shoryu killing. Oh, not being able to 2-frame the Shoryu without getting hit. All the fucking like, why do they keep getting buffed? They have billion different ways to hit you and kill you and shield break you. And the only real way I feel like I hit them is because they're being super predictable with focus over and over and never ever air dodge or double jump out of disadvantage. But I truly feel like these characters, if they were played more, would be so fucking scary. They don't have trouble against shorties that much, honestly, even because of how incredible down tilt is, and like harder down tilt now actually combos to Tatsu. You can DI it from what I've heard, but it's a one-hit move, so you can't react to it. So like spot dodge, far range, down tilt, like yeah, it's gonna hit. Then we have Wolf. Wolf, in my opinion, is in a pretty good spot. He beats a lot of the bad characters. He's like Palu, but with a bit more offense in trade for a lot of the survivability. I'm really impressed from what I've seen with the Wolf players. They found a lot of tech. Surprisingly, his strength is that he doesn't have any one amazing kill throw or kill combo. He doesn't have the backer that Paolo does. He doesn't have the upper, but he has a lot of small different variations that can all kill. Backer's obviously amazing still. Side B kills happen a bit more frequently now. Up parry into up B, I've seen Charlie do. There's a lot of these small things that really help the character out. And the nerves were definitely a bit overborne in my opinion. I think Wolf is like the best designed character in this game, honestly. Like He sounds amazing. He feels amazing to play. He's not born to fight. Like, I don't get why they would ever nerf this character. Next up, we have Game & Watch. Game & Watch is... oh my god. RNG Zero to Death combo. With 1 out of 7 chance, I believe. Nair. Up B out of shield is... Up B out of shield has 9 frames of invincibility. 9. You can't ledge trap him because his ledge animations are different and don't have a tell. Neutral B ledge trap is actually so fucking stupid. There's so much wrong with his character design. So much wrong. Like, he does well, and I think his position got super buffed. He might be here actually, but I think his position got really buffed by the fact that the top 2 characters that he does well against in the absolute top 5 area is like Pikachu and Peach, and both those characters are relatively stronger now, whereas, you know, the other characters such as Joker, Palu, actually got a bit nerfed in the patch, as well as ZSS. Don't hate on Meister, but do hate on this character. This character deserves all the hatred. Oh, I didn't place Chrom. I think Chrom is like, yeah, he's like here. He's so good, but the reason why he's here, he's like actually one of those characters where you probably should have a secondary. You don't need one, but you probably should. Play the like Chrom and Lucina together and you're golden, honestly. 2 simple characters together at the price of 1 in terms of like effort. All right, so next character we have is... I might go a little bit controversial with this. Palu. I think Palu got significantly nerfed actually. Nair not killing, down throw back air not being as good of a setup, and not comboing for as long. The more I watch her, the more I realize that like she's good, but she does struggle against some of the top tiers. Yeah, very, very simple character, almost low effort, but I do think that as the meta goes on now with the new patch, we will see a little bit less for her. Maybe a little bit more, you know, Nairo and other characters playing other characters to couple with Palu. She's still definitely the simple character to play though. And next up, I think some people are surprised by this character being this high, but is Mario. I think Mario, like I read somewhere that I think it was Puppy on Twitter that said Mario is just better Game & Watch. He's fucking stupid. I'm like, I thought about it. Wait, he's legitimately just better Game & Watch. Like 3 frame up, be out of shield. Yeah, it doesn't combo, but it's, you know, having that there against good players when they know the matchup with Game & Watch, you can't do up B auto shield as much as you just play with a thread of it, right? 6 frame Nair auto shield as well, so when he can up B auto shield, he has different options. Back air, up smash auto shield, frame 9 up smash. Up smash is only like minus like 15, 20 or something. If you can't reach it, you don't have time to like shield up punish it with most characters. So you just see Wizzy like up smash, up smash. Fireball is amazing. Can edge guard, can ledge trap, can win in neutral. If you get hit by it, you get comboed. Up air, short of up air, so fucking good, man. Leads into spikes, like can get early stocks. Has side B that's good against projectile characters. Has flood that's good against characters such as Palu and Lucina. They just try to zone him out, and as well as edge guarding characters like Chrom. 6 frame grab, like gets really consistent damage. Like one of the main things is he doesn't get like 0 to 50 like Squirtle can on some characters, but he gets like 30% from almost every throw he does, because even at mid percents he gets down throw combos that can potentially be even more scary, and on some stages he gets upper like stealing kills, upper uppy. All of his moves are stupid safe on shield except for fair. Great 2 framing, which is the way you edge guard in this game. Yeah, just like a really, really good character in my opinion, and I'm happy Wizzy has opened mine and everyone else's eyes to how good this character is. Next up in my opinion is Rob. I think Rob, dude, when I watch Sakurai play, it legitimately feels like his Rob is so fucking ridiculous, and then he makes a beginner mistakes and dies early or something. If he had like the survivability and defense of Wadi while still remaining his offense and like advantage game, I think he would be so incredibly hard to stop. Like this character has infinite recovery, dies late, hard to kill, hard to ledge trap if you play him properly. 2 amazing projectiles, down tilt makes me question everything, honestly. Like that move should not be as fast and as safe as it is, and lead to combos. You can carry across the screen with a 3 frame down tilt. What the hell? Like has a 6 frame grab that then leads to like a 50-50 kill confirm. where even if you miss, you're still an advantage. Has combo throws, has Ike Nair on steroids, has legitimately several sear to death combos that I think will only become more and more frequent because you can absolutely not DI any of that shit. It's just incredibly annoying to fight, incredibly awful character design in my opinion. But hey man, if you like Rob, this is the game for you. Next up, who do we have? We have Inkling. I think Inkling is still amazing. We watched a video the other day, the EE's video. I recommend you watch it if you're down in this position. But basically, the saying goes, the worse you are, the worse you think Inkling is. The better you are, the better you think Inkling is. Yeah, honestly, this character is just so incredibly solid. Like, she's like Paolo, or they are like Paolo, but with even more sauce in my opinion. Like, even more threatening kill throw. On the characters that Inkling has up throw upper kill on, I think they win like basically every single 164 if it's a decent window. It's just like, even playing Joker, like an amazing character, he just cannot compete with that amount of kill power from also the best dash grab in the game, right? I don't really know how you're supposed to like avoid grab kills in this game. It's really, really hard, and I have a ton of experience. Main problem is that they can struggle a little bit against some of the weaker characters, but they have Cosmos. Honestly, Cosmos' bigger problem is just that he kind of chokes sometimes and he gets predictable. And Space is also a really, really good player. Speeding Gluttony, like, yeah, I really think this character is slept on by the majority of the people, but many top players realize just how good this character is. Impossible to edge guard recovery, amazing frame rate, backers the size of like a country, and it still is -2 and does like 13 damage on top of that. Like, yeah, they have some mediocre moves like up tilt, for example, but you don't need many moves in this game. Paolo shows that, right? Why do people go like, well, Inkling has some moves that aren't that good, when Paolo also has some moves that are very mediocre, more mediocre in my opinion, and honestly doesn't have the hurt box or the recovery or the just amount of damage output that Inkling can have. After that, we have Shulk. Shulk is so incredibly good. His literal only flaw he has is that his startup on his moves are mediocre. He even has an amazing up out of shield. It's just that he doesn't have like a quick nair out of shield that's like safe, get out free jail card. But like, he has another get out free jail card in using shield. You can use also like Monado activation to be invincible, smash to get out of kill confirms. He just shits on so many bad characters by default with his range. Even with parries, you can't even punish many of his nairs and fairs. That's how good range and low lag they have. And yes, while he might not have technically the best top tier spread, shitting on the bad character is a big deal in this game. He's not nearly as hard as people think he is. It's not a matter of like, can he be optimized further? In my opinion, the reason why Shulk isn't winning majors is because Leo isn't picking them. Because if Leo, with his fundamentals, picked a fundamentally based character like Shulk, and yes, he is fundamentally based, even though he has one move that is complicated, I think it would be so over. I truly think that Shulk is... He's like Lucina. Like, if you compare him to Lucina, like, what does Lucina have that Shulk doesn't have? Slightly faster up Yellow Shield, but still worse kill move. Worse recovery, because no jump and no shield. Slightly faster startup on some of her moves, but Lucina's still not amazing on a shield when it comes to outside of up B. No combo throw, no kill throw with smash, but Shulk has smash forward throw. More unsafe on aerials. Slightly better upper. That's the biggest. Slightly better upper and downer. Those are the biggest thing. And like, yeah, neutral B is good, and maybe Lucina side B is a little bit better, but Monado is the best move in the game by far. Like, there's no other move that can just change the entire game plan of everyone just by pressing B and then something. Just incredible sortie, and honestly very degenerate playing against. But I think if playing him can be pretty fun when you do the cool stuff. Most of the time though, you're just nairing. Then we have Wario. Wario, in my opinion, is not a character that can't play against anyone. The hardest matchups are like Olimar and such, But I think the biggest problem, honestly, with Wario is that he's just a little bit wonky playing against some characters rather than being actually bad. The biggest thing with Wario is just waft. I mean, he's waft on a heavy character that is good overall outside of that. He's maybe a high tier character without waft, and waft is like having 2 or even 1 kill in a game where you only have 3 stocks and so many ways to confirm it, or even save yourself as recoveries. It's just too much. It really just is too much. And even though he might be a little bit worse in casuals, I really feel like in tournament, having that factor makes such a big difference. It's like Jigglypuff and Melee. It's like Ding Dong with Donkey Kong in Smash 4. It's like having that thing to play around really helps you mentally, because you know you can always come back, and your opponent always knows that even when he's up 3 stocks to 1 and you have to play a whole best of 5, he knows that he can't take it easy. He has to play full throttle, super shitting his pants scared, and yeah, just hope that you don't get it down to the last stock, because that waft can change everything. And any mistake, like such as a whiffed F smash by Naro, will just lead to, yeah, it can just instantly kill you. Next up we have Joker. I actually think Joker is worse than the best characters. He actually, in my opinion, got very significantly nerfed. Loses are stand about 20% earlier from damage, which doesn't sound too much, but some characters, especially the top tier ones, can really use that. I think he loses hard to Inkling. Wario can be a bit rough now, I think, as well. Down guns not being free disadvantage state is actually a bigger deal than you guys think. Like, he's also worse at edge guarding because the down guns don't have nearly as big of a reach. You can like horizontally dodge it now by doing like an up B that angles and stuff like that. Leo makes this character look like the best character in the game, and I think he might have actually been the best character in the game before the patch. It's just more a testament to how close the top tiers are that he fell several spots, in my opinion, on a not incredibly big nerf. Like, it's a big nerf, but it's not like the end of everything. Also, just for reference, if you think non-Arsene Joker is high tier, you're so stupid. No, that character cannot consistently kill. Yes, sometimes you get fair drag down, but if you also watch Leo, he also gets like Samsora, a light, who plays Peach, a light character, like 180 sometimes. Next up, probably not a big surprise to anyone else, is CSS. CSS, in my opinion, is part of the best. Now, the best crew, in my opinion, is not necessarily significantly better than any of the other characters. It's simply, I am sure that they are like at least top 5. I could actually see Joker, Wario, Shulk, Inkling, Rob, Mario, Palu all kind of swap places, in my opinion. But I'm pretty sure that no top 5 will be without these characters. CSS, simply put, the fastest character. Incredible frame data, like stupid frame data, -2 on Nair and there. The only, like, she doesn't even actually struggle versus many short characters. The only thing that happens is that you just have to be better at spacing the Nair and timing the Nair. And I feel like you could, in the beginning, Mars did really badly against, you know, Esam and Void in the start maybe, so maybe that's why everyone thought that. But when you see him play Smash Up now, it's just obvious that like both Pikachu and Pichu, for example, both really want to edge guard you, and you just can't consistently edge guard this character. So while CSS still struggles to hit them, so in the reverse, right? And CSS can just outspeed these short characters and force them to approach and play at her pace. Down B, Barrier Nerf is big, but you honestly did not see Mars get that many kills with it already. And in my opinion, it was more that it was extremely degenerate rather than absolutely massive in terms of how core it is to her gameplay. You'll still see people die to it. If you get hit by surprising when you don't mash perfectly, or if you're just at high percent, it will still kill you. Down B is still an amazing move. You can still nair flip kick people at 30 and they die. Yeah, frame 1 jab makes it incredibly hard to get out of. Or like pressure, 3 frame up tilt, parry up tilt, amazing. Has one of the few tools that can whiff punish, short up aerial spam with pivot grab or grab. Yeah, just an amazing character, really. Amazing character. It's so versatile, and I feel like it's a high skill cap character too, so you will only see people abuse the speed and the amount of moves you have at disposal more. And for the second best character in the game, we have Peach. Yes, Samsora. Despite Samsora saying this character is bad, somehow this character is still good, right? I know, crazy, right? Crazy. This character is so goddamned stupid. When she pulls any turnip, but especially Saturn or Stitch Face, she just like becomes so insane. You can't ledge trap her. She, like Peach with Saturn is the best fucking thing in this game. Like it's just so incredibly stupid. It combos to F smash and everything else. It stays around. It insta shield breaks. You can't like catch it, unless she messes up most of the time. Like, because the main way you usually catch turnips is shield and then grab them, and you can't do that against Saturn. You have to like hard read the timing and spot dodge it. Like Samsora sucks in matchups, so he thinks they're bad, even though they're clearly good. And like if Peach actually lost to Sonic PT, like you wouldn't see people play and do this well with Peach. Like no, I don't care what him and Mute Haze have circle jerked themselves into believing. No, this character is fucking insane. Absolutely insane. And in my opinion, clearly wins against many of the top tiers, such as Joker, Wario. Loses against Shulk, but does well against Rob, does well against Inkling, does well against Mario, Palu, Wolf. Does bad against, you know, Game Watch, but I still think does well against Ken and Snake. Does well against Chrom, does well against Lucina, does well against Pac-Man. Yes, I said it. Not wins, but does well. Beats Young Link, in my opinion, if you know how to edgeguard him. Might lose slightly after patch, but I felt like that matchup was clearly losing before. Maybe it's even now, but I still think that the edgeguarding is too big of a deal. Like wins over Roy, wins over Fox, Mega Man is like wins over Terry, wins over Olimar, wins over Nez. Might go even with Samus, you never know. I think beats Sonic, and like that's all the high tiers right there. I just went through them, and she loses like 1, 2. No, she does not lose 25 matchups. Stop it. I am talking like Peach, like I play her. Listen, Samsora, this is not meant to be the toast of Samsora, the roast, sorry. Just because you play something doesn't mean that you understand it, okay? Want me to show proof? Samsora, playing Ocarina of Time, did not know that Sheik was Zelda, despite playing Melee and Brawl. Next up, we have Pikachu. Pikachu is such a stupidly designed character. There's no disadvantage. You can't ledge trap the character, you can't edge guard the character, the character has cheese kills. I honestly believe that the only thing holding Pikachu back from winning multiple majors is the fact that not enough players play them, and that ESM gets a bit predictable and doesn't abuse the specifically broken things in Ultimate. If he went a bit more for the Nair loops, if he like looked for the hard starters a bit more, I think, and then abused his camping, I think it would be even harder. This character is a hard to play character, but just toxic to play against. Toxic. I would definitely pick up Pikachu if my only goal in life was to do well in Ultimate. Now, I want to be able to sleep at night, so I probably won't be doing that, but catch me playing Pikachu if there's a $10 million tournament released. I mean, upcoming. Yeah, just incredibly strong character. Pikachu loses to Game & Watch and Peach. That's about it, honestly. Yeah. Beats Joker badly. Probably beats Wario, beats Shulk. Like, yeah. Just shits on basically everyone. I was thinking when I was gonna main Joker, I'm like, okay, who does well against Pikachu? Like, who can I counterpick with? And like, you start thinking that the characters that go even with them actually are good choices. That's when you know that character's busted. That's when you know that character's busted, right? Like, oh, this character barely wins or goes even. Yeah, that's a great counterpick for Pikachu. All right, so next up we have Byleth. Byleth, in my opinion, is hard to place. No, but Byleth, in my opinion, is clear low mid tier. So worse than Richter, a little bit better than Meta Knight. You'll see it on the final tier list. Subscribe to my YouTube if you want to see exactly where they place. Yeah, Byleth is like an okay character, honestly. Like slightly better Ganondorf, but still has the same problems as Ganondorf. Just because you have a bigger range on fair and back air doesn't really change, right? The big problem really is that they can't land. They don't have good recovery. They don't have amazing combos. They don't have amazing kill confirms. Up B doesn't work. if you DI at the most percents. I honestly think they're pretty good right now because people know how to play against them. And I know Leo can win majors with them because this game is just that balanced. That does not mean that they are top tier. It just means Leo is good. Leo made everyone believe Ike was top tier in the beginning, and he could make everyone believe that Byleth is mid or high tier. That's how big the difference is between those characters. The fact that Byleth isn't even heavy while also being slower in both the air and on the ground than Ike is crazy to me. All right, so next up we have PT. What do you think PT should be? I think a lot of people overrate PT. I'm gonna tell this. I hope Tweak is okay with this. I think most PT players that actually know the character, and I think they're one of the hardest characters to understand if you don't play them, since they're actually 3 characters, think that the character is vastly overrated by most top players. The main problem with PT really comes down to the fact that, in my opinion, PT still has bad matchups. Pikachu, Wario, Mario, Rob, even like Palu and Wolf are rough. Young Link. You know, the fact that Fox, the fact that they have rough matchups, and Olimar as well. They definitely lose to Olimar. The fact that they have rough matchups while also requiring the amount of practice as 3 characters. 3 characters, like if PT players, yeah, as someone said in chat, if PT players had 3 times the amount of time to practice as everyone else, yeah, that'd be fine to have a couple bad matchups. But the problem is that why should you spend the time learning 3 different characters? And they are different characters. Anyone that says that they are not different characters has not played PT. They are actually hard to play as well. They're not the hardest characters by themselves, but 3 different characters is harder than any 2 characters in this game combined, because that's just how the range of this game is, right? You have to spend that much time that you have to play 3 different characters, and then you also need a secondary. Both Tweak, when he played PT, Pandarian, and Ned, and I think Hikaru as well, all have secondaries, and all on top of playing 3 characters for PT. Straight up, PT is one of the hardest matchups to learn because there's 3 characters. But once you do learn the matchup, it's very significant that each one of the Pokemon are very predictable. They have some strong options, but they are very predictable. Squirtle wants Grab, fair. F to mid percent. Charizard wants one of his kill moves. Ivysaur wants Grab, Back Air, or you know, Razor Leaf to set up into his the rest of his game. All of them have trouble landing. You know, you've heard this shit before, but in my opinion, they're simply not worth it. And when I got to TSMs and I met Tweak there, I didn't even say hello. I think I said hello, and he said, "PT sucks. You should stop playing them." I think it was even more work, like fucking sucks or something. And I'm like, yeah, I think I really think they're overrated. And I really feel like they're just not worth the effort. In an ideal world, we have infinite amount of time to practice, and the online was good so you could practice each matchup infinitely, then I think they're a lot better, maybe even top 5 level. But I think the game is close enough to that disadvantage keeps them out, in my opinion, to high tier, where they're solo mainable, you know, better than Chrom solo, but in my opinion, maybe worse than Chrom if Chrom picks a good secondary. I don't know. The more I think about, like, isn't it easier to play Chrom and then pick up like Lucina for the bad matchups? Doesn't Chrom plus Lucina have a better matchup spread than PT? I think they do. And it's still 2 characters that are more similar than any of the PT are to each other. That's the worst thing too, that like people are like, oh, but it's not really 3 different matchups, you know? You don't really have to learn 3 different matchups. Like, what do you mean you don't have to learn 3 matchups? How is Squirtle similar to Charizard whatsoever? How is Ivysaur similar to Squirtle whatsoever, right? They're not. They're very different. They have similar flaws, but they play completely differently. Still, they're my favorite character. I still might play them because I don't play Ultimate that seriously, but I completely understand why people drop them, and I honestly feel like most of the people who do well with PT could pick any other character or many other characters, not any other characters, but characters above them, and probably do better. All right, if you want more content like this, subscribe. I'll be doing Granblue content tomorrow. Please subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitch, subscribe to me with Twitch Prime. I have a Patreon that no one uses, and I don't blame you. If you want to support me, please feel free. If not, have a great time anyway. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm out.